And what is their life force? How they're losing it? So this is what my Sean Kelly video is viral. It's like they lose it through two ways. Explosive climaxes, and that's basically clitoral climax, which is the fast food of all climax. It's how most women are climaxing if they're able to at all. And then you have leukorrhea, which is like the ojas of the body for women. It's like the seminal fluid for men, right? It's semen. So it's life force. And when that mixes with the uterine lining, then that's menstrual blood. And so when you lose your menstrual blood, you're losing life force. And so that's why myself, I consume mine. I don't want to lose my life force.
Huh? So you drink your life force juices?
Yes, I do.
And what fluid is that?
What food?
What fluid is that?
That is the leukorrhea with the moon blood.
Okay, what's the leukorrhea first?
Can you explain that?
Okay,
I don't.
So this is graphic. So
It's okay, I'm a
just so
graphic.
we understand. So like a lot of women will have to wear these like little panty liners, if you will, because they have this discharge that comes out. It's not STI, it's just normal
Little
fluid.
secretion, little creamy juices.
Yes.
I like them juices.
Okay, that's life force. That's
Yeah, I
probably
like
why
that.
you like that. And so
Tasty.
what happens?
Okay.
It's true.
It is delicious.
Because you crave it, right? So during your during your moon cycle, you sort of, that mixes with the shedding of the uterine wall, and that turns into blood.
Oh,
and
the
that's your
blood.
moon blood. But it's leukorrhea with the uterine wall. So that's blood. Life is in the what? Blood, right?
Yes.
If you cut yourself and you bleed out, you have no more life, right? So if you think of
And
that
we use the kids,
concept.
you suck the blood.
So why do we have that then every month?
That's a good question. Well, we have it because we're lazy. We put food into our bodies. We put processed meat, alcohol, pharmaceuticals. We put dairy. We put birth control. We put all this food in us that alters our hormones. And you know, the studies now have shown that we have a spoonful, like a teaspoonful of plastics in our brain. So we have so much. We're an estrogen in dominant, especially in men as well. You know, so all of these things that we're doing, plus the environment, we're not in nature, we're not grounding. It messes up our cycle. And if your walls are toned, which is why I talk about in my book, we have the yoni eggs, the practice of toning the yoni. Your walls are
clenching
toned.
that pussy get clenched up.
That's right.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
like the yoni steams.
And the steams, correct.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that and you're doing sublimation practices, which is like reversing the energy flow, if you will, then you're not bleeding as much. So like when I was in Thailand training, I would be doing my practices. We were living off buckwheat. We were basically fasting all the time. We're doing 10 to 12 hours of, Tantric hatha yoga, which is just sitting in a pose and just focusing on energy, crazy stuff. I'm not bleeding at all. I'm having like maybe this much in a cup. And it's not because like I wasn't on my cycles, because I'm transmuting that blood back in the body.
So hold up.
Yes.
The cycle is normal.
The cycle still comes.
It still comes. That's normal. But
Yes.
if it's like the overflow, that's when it's becoming.
So it's not about, so the cycle comes, everything sheds, but remember, if you abuse it, you lose it. If you recycle it, the body will just take it back in and absorb it.
Okay, so the
right?
recycling, because I heard a cup.
The moon
and I
cup.
heard the the moon
Yes.
cup. I heard recycling. So what are we doing with this cup?
So I'm putting the moon cup. So I
Okay.
sell them on my shop. You basically, I should have brought one, but you fold it in half, and then it's made from tree fiber, and you stick it inside the yoni, and then it expands like a little cup.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then when the blood, drops, the moon blood drops, you pull it out, and then you just toss it back, and that's why.
So you're
Toss
taking
it back in your
a
throat?
shot.
You take a
I
shot?
take a shot of my
Shot
moon
of period blood.
Yes.
God damn it.
Every month.
What you yell? You
Wait.
howl like a wolf on the moon blood. Gargle.
But someone was like, "Oh, you're a vampire." I'm like, "No, I'm not drinking anyone else's
How does
blood.
that
I'm drinking-"
taste?
It tastes well if I'm eating plants and vegetables, fruits, and no alcohol, no drugs, no weed, no pen, no nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Then it tastes sweet. It tastes like, I drink my urine as well, but so.
Oh,
And you
whoa.
double fist the urine in the goddamn
I
period
need
blood.
to do that.
You
I need to
try
do
that
both.
out.
I need to
Yeah,
do
you
both.
might want to mix it, make a nice
Mix
little
it.
elixir.
Elixir.
Yeah.
It's a god, and so we were talking about on the last show, like men should also consume their semen.
Hold on now. We're going too damn far.
Why?
Hold up
Hold
now.
up.
Okay.
Hold
Yeah,
up.
I ain't know. We ain't doing all that now. I don't eat the cream filling. I fill it up, let it sit. I look at it.
Why wouldn't you?
Come
why?
on now, because
You don't want the energy back, huh?
that energy.
But why would you
Really?
make her drink it if
Yeah.
you're not willing to drink it?
He's not making me do nothing.
Yeah, I make her do everything.
Hypothetically,
Yeah,
right?
hypothetically,
If
yeah.
you want her to drink your life force,
As she should,
don't
yeah.
you think that you should taste it to make sure it's safe for
I
consumption?
definitely don't think that. Never would think that. God bless anybody who does. You know what I'm saying? They might got something wrong with their
My
brain.
business partner, Keith Mitchell, played in
Yeah.
the NFL for 10 years. He does the retreats with me. And he drinks his, does the
just
practice
counted
where,
him out.
where
But he does a retreat with her.
well, he does the retreats with me. He had amazing story. Had a spinal contusion,
Yeah.
paralyzed from the waist down, 10 years in the NFL. He used breath work and yoga to rehabilitate himself.
Very
And
good.
he's built.
Yeah.
And amazing. And he's practiced with the best Tantra masters on the planet, including myself. So he talks about, I just had him on my show, he talks about how for him, his semen, so he's mastered semen retention. Where
Okay.
he doesn't lose it. Now he just loses it every so often.
And what he do with it? You telling me?
Okay, so he'll do a
get it?
few things with it.
Okay,
so
I'm listening now.
if it's a woman that he feels is worthy of his
Yeah.
life force, then he will possibly let her drink it.
Okay.
But if not, then he'll drink it.
He drinking his own nut juice.
Yes.
Would you?
Stop asking that. That ain't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Some eat that though. Some men with that,
It's a
they're
protein shake. Put in a protein shake.
they'll come in a woman and go down and eat all the goddamn surplus. You know what I'm saying? Or they had nut in their mouth and they call it a
just
purple
sips it.
swirl. They
Sips it
kiss the
back.
mouth of the nut in there.
He said he feels
We're
like
white people, to tell you the truth. He's working
he's
for whites.
black. He's black as
Yeah,
black
I
can
don't
be.
know about
Keith-
that. I gotta see
Keith
this.
Mitchell, look him up.
Keith Mitchell, he drinking his own. Keith Mitchell, you should be saying to yourself,
How
you's a
did
nasty
you-
wild mother. I don't give a what she talking about. Keith, slap the shit out you, man. I don't give a you wheelchair or not. Stop that shit, brother. No, that's what I'm playing.
You gotta
I'm
tell us.
He's not a
how
wheelchair.
did you come?
He ain't no more?
No, he's like
oh,
you.
from drinking the nut, he good now. Hey, man.
See, imagine if you were, you would have
I'm
been
cool.
more swole.
But I can give it to some other people.
I'm
Don't
gonna pull
point
up
at
this
me.
picture.
Wait, so
Because-
how
tell
did
me.
you come up with I understand you do retreats and all that. Like
Yeah.
I
Yes.
understand the breath work, I understand the
Yes.
yoga, I understand the energy flow, the semen retention, all that, but the drinking part, where does
That's
that
top
come
level.
from?
That's next level.
Okay, so I was gonna pull him up a picture of Keith so he knows I'm
Shout out
not.
to Keith,
So
man.
I'm not making this up.
Shout out
And
to
just
you,
so
brother.
you can see, he's
To each
he's
their
like,
own. You know what I'm saying? I like to have fun, but I don't judge.
He's like 50 and looks like that.
He's 30. Let me see, man. Keith.
So where
Keith
does
a
that
wild
come
boy.
from?
Shout out to Keith, man.
So
He got the pajamas on. You could tell he a wild boy. Got the bees on his neck.
he's
You
a,
could tell.
he's a yogi.
He look
like
like
me.
Dodge Lim on Street Fighter.
Oh, I don't know who that is,
Yeah,
but
Google it.
okay, I will. He's a yogi. He's a biohacker
See?
too. But basically, so where did the drink seminal fluids and
Yeah.
things? That comes from ancient. I feel something on my lip gloss. That comes from ancient Taoist practices. So if you've heard of Mantak Chia, he's like a. I'm surprised maybe you haven't heard of his stuff. If
hear
you
it.
did semen retention,
Yeah.
Mantak Chia.
But once again, I did it off my own reconnaissance. I
Okay.
didn't know it was a
You
practice.
Yeah,
I just
amazing,
did- yeah.
amazing. You just intuitively went there. So he is like a master, like a Taoist master. So Tantra has basically 4 different schools. It has the classical Indian Tantra, which is my school. We learned all of them, but that's the main one because we worship the divine feminine. And it's all about like like the goddess in you and the God in you, and both of us worshiping both equal. And so we love that. Now there's a Tibetan Tantra. That Tantra, if you know anything about Tibet, it's a very intense place, right? I've been up there. It's a
With the Buddhists and all that.
it's very like the weather and it's a very the climate is just it's a harsh
Mountains,
yeah.
you know. So then we have the Buddhist Tantra. That's a whole nother level of Tantra. And then we have the Taoist. And so Mantak Chia is a Taoist. And a lot of the seminal drinking of the bodily fluids come from the Taoist practice.
You old freaky sneaky Taoist motherfuckers. Y'all's up there in them temples drinking y'all nut.
They do. And
Boy, y'all crazy.
They are the ones who brought yoni eggs into, because basically, if you know anything also about India, like India, people think, when you think of India, what do you think? Like,
I think a funky ass smells everywhere.
No, I think about
No, I'm
temples,
sorry.
yes.
ashrams.
Yes. So if you know India before the British colonized them, it was actually very sexually free. If you go into any of the temples or you look on any of the manuscripts, you're seeing bestiality, you're seeing guys with guys, multiple women on a guy, like crazy stuff. Like
Yeah.
you don't think of that when you think of India,
Right.
because Tantra was abundant in India, because the Tantras, they figured out, we can master our sexual energy and we can reach enlightenment faster. We can do white magic. We can sexual transmutate. We can do all this cool shit. But when the British came in, they were like, fuck that shit. We're going to pray and the religion and this
Yeah,
and that.
tricked
And they're
them,
like,
yeah.
you ain't doing none of that shit. So the Tantrics went underground. And that's why the Tantric lineage is so, it's like very sacred and it's very taboo and it's only taught from like student to teacher orally. You can't like Google this online, right? So the Tao, so basically in that era, these women, they were serving the royal families and all the, what is it, the court of all the royal, I forget the word I'm looking for, but all the royals. And so they were basically they were like 304s, but they were very classy 304s. Like they were trained in like 64 classical arts and texts and all these things, and they learned how to be really good at sex, and that's where like all these practices of like the jade eggs and all these yoni eggs came from, was to make sure that these royal courts were always satisfied. So if you were like a prostitute for them, it was actually kind of an honor. I know it's weird because you were like, oh yeah, I'm servicing the royal family, if you will.